Well, hopefully you can hear me. It's been a little bit of a time since I've recorded anything. Long story short is I was getting entirely annoyed with doing stuff, recording it on a cell phone and editing it with a cell phone. So I built a computer and bought a somewhat sensible-ish action camera. I've had a lot of people that have sort of said they can't hear what I'm saying, that kind of stuff, and the video quality wasn't the best. I kind of get that, kind of makes sense. So yeah, we're going to give this a go. So what I'm doing now is this will be part one of me. Basically what I've done is I've got hold of a cheap, somewhat half-done chopper that I'm fixing up, and I'm painting it for someone that I've sold it to. The guy that owns it, hello Matt if you're watching, is quite a big fan of death metal. My thing is kind of painting skulls and fires, so this is going to kind of work. So I've got a few random images. What Matt likes is, if you can see it over there, is this kind of thing. So skull with horns, that kind of thing. There aren't too many images that I can use as a reference that look all that good. This one I've got here, it's not that detailed. These ones are a little bit more like it, but again, I don't want to straight up copy them. So I've messed around with some colors, printed them out, reverse the colors around. So I don't know if you can see this one. I can't really see where the camera is. I'm still learning this camera, but yeah, so basically I'm adding a horn to this one and then two horns to this one. Hopefully you can see that. So the reason that I'm recording right now is because a lot of people struggle when they first start trying to get things to look realistic, and a lot of airbrushers won't tell you what they're doing. And this is a big part of what we do. Sit here with an X-Acto knife, fresh blade just put in, and I'm basically just going to cut around these, and what these will do is give me, for want of a better description, a road map. So basically what I'm going to do is the tank right now is black, and obviously the skulls are going to start off white. They're going to change a little bit as we go, but they're going to start off white. So what I need to do is I need to cut out everything as much as I can, so I can get, for argument's sake, with this one, the light outlines, so I can get all of my dimensions, so they're somewhere near right. So what I'm basically going to do is cut the whole outline out of this one and out of this one, and then once we've got that far, I will then take the outside of it, if you like, place it on the tank where I want it to go, dust the whole thing over in white, and then I'll come back to these skulls again, and then what I'll do is I'll start cutting out features, and again that will just give me a really sort of basic map, if you like, kind of like painting with numbers, but a little bit more complex and stressful, but hey. So yeah, I'm going to go into high speed about, I don't know, about now, and you can follow along. Right, so welcome back. As you just saw, what we've done here, almost got it perfect. It's not quite. There's a few bits there where it's not quite perfect, but again, I'm not too worried about that, because at the end of the day, this is going to be my own interpretation. The likelihood of me following this exactly is pretty rare, hence me drawing a horn in there. But yeah, so this has gone from a worthless piece of paper to something that I'll be relying on for the next several hours. Welcome to airbrushing. It's not quite what you think it is when you first start sometimes. But yeah, so that is this one cut out ready, somewhat ready. It's enough that I can then lay lay this part up against the tank, and that, providing I don't do that too much with it, or that, then it will give me a somewhat sensible outline. But it also means if I'm nice and careful with this and I look after this, once that's in there, I can then come in and say, well, okay, this part is black, that part is black, and I can even go to the point where I could even ever so gently cut some of these lines in, and it will give you just a real basic roadmap of where you're going. You can even go to the point of doing it with the light and the dark, but I don't generally have that much patience. So yeah, so we're going to cut this one, this one's done. So we're going to leave this young man here, and we are going to move on to this one. Just in case you're wondering why I've got all these different skulls out, it's because I've blown them up into different shapes and sizes and mirrored them around to figure out what I wanted to go where. So long story short is, you've got one side of the tank facing forward, the other side of the tank facing forward. Don't ask me why, but skulls look really weird when they're facing backwards on a motorbike. It's one of those weird things I don't know the answer to. And you probably never questioned yourself, and I hadn't until I started painting them, but hey ho. So yeah, gonna do the same with this guy now, so back to the high speed. Okay, so one beautifully happy skull. You'll see that just here I went slightly over, and I was swearing along with you as I did that, but kind of is what it is. Realistically, as far as skulls go, he's still going to look, I would say, pretty realistic anyway. So I'm not over stressed about that. And again, this piece is as important as this one. Be the same kind of deal once again. Just in case anyone is following on, they're wondering how the heck is he doing that, or what is he doing, because we've all been there. Just so you've got a rough idea. So what you've got here is a cutting mat that you can get at any local art store. You can get them on Amazon, eBay, yada yada yada. But yeah, you can do as much cutting with that as you like. Just don't go near these. but they're super handy to have because it gives you a good resistance. It's kind of hard to describe until you try this, but you want enough pressure on this blade to cut the paper, but you don't want so much so that you're just ripping everything to shreds. But in the same breath, there'll be a time that you try this. I'll tell you, I'll show you with this one. There'll be a time you try this and you're like, oh my god, this bit's really tricky, and you're going nice and light and gently, and you could spend 20 minutes doing that little line, and you're going to be like, oh, that's awesome, I'm going to pull it out, and no, it's just crease the paper. That is very infuriating if you do that. So having this gives you a degree of confidence. And don't get me wrong, I've rednecked it before. I've put a piece of lumber underneath and done the same thing. It works to an extent, but you've got to bear in mind, if you're trying to precisely cut around tiny little teeth and stuff, even the grains in the wood when you're going against them will make your blade wander. But these are a very interesting skill, put it that way. It does take some time to get the hang of them. Same with the airbrush, it's just practice. But the most important thing is fresh blades. I've been guilty of that more times than I can count. You'll go to do this and you're like, oh my god, I haven't got any more blades, I've got to get this done, go, and then all of a sudden you'll be doing this, and you'll see in a couple of places when I was doing these guys, it was just trying to bunch the paper up. When it starts doing that, you've got to be able to let off the pressure. If your blade is blunt, all you're going to do is bunch it up, and you'll just end up throwing it across the room. Ask me how I know. So yeah, I'm just going to do the video up to this point for now. More so I can go down into my lovely basement and try and get the hang of the editing. I'll get this one uploaded, and then what I'll do is we'll come back on the next one and I'll introduce you to the bike, the tank, the fenders, all the fun stuff. And then we're basically going to take this and this from here onto a tank, and then cover it in fire and probably some crazy satanic stuff, just for shits and giggles. I didn't swear, trust me, I said ships. Anyway, all right, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. If there's anything that you want to see that you're not sure about learning, or there's something you can't get a hang of, or there's something that's bugging the hell out of you, by all means, just throw it in the comments and ask. One fun thing for next time is I just got some airbrushes from Badger show up. I'm becoming a massive fan of this one. Not your average looking airbrush. It's a good thing. It means you can see straight down the tip. Pun intended. But yeah, this one's a super handy airbrush. I'm really liking this one, and I've already got it covered in paint. So yeah, you should hopefully be able to see me using that next time. Right, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, bye.